I'm in County Cork working on a listed building. It's an old granary building and it creates lots of very tricky details to fireproof. This building's changing its use, and when it changes its use we have to ensure that all of the construction meets the building regulation requirements for fire safety. That generally means floors need to be 60 minutes, and that can be very tricky in a building like this where we have a steel frame with a 3x9 plank floor. It's a very unique type of flooring system, very old, and we've had to work with our suppliers to find technical details that will bring this up to a tested compliant standard. We're here on a mezzanine structure where they've used wooden beams with 9x3 planks. As you can see above, previously it's been fireproofed with plaster slabs attached onto the wooden planks, but that doesn't comply with any tested details. So we've had to look at a solution in order to make this floor a 60-minute rated floor, to provide the correct protection around these timber beams. It's been extremely difficult, and we've unfortunately been unable to find a product that would actually be able to encase these timber beams. So we've had to look at providing 2 steel channels either side of each timber beam, and then providing an encasement detail to those steel channels. This in effect negates the structural requirement of the timber beams and provides the structural requirement and safety requirement for 60-minute fire rating for the floor, where this new steel beams will take the load of the existing timber floor. Around the timber beams and beyond the steel beams will be an encasement system which will be below the timber planked floor. This encasement system will be a full fire safety protection from the underside only, and it negates the requirement of the structures and composition of the floor above this area and provides the fire safety requirements. As you can see here, timber props have been installed where the timber beams meet the outside wall. You can see here historically the timber beams have had wet rot damage, and this probably led to a bit of deflection where these props have been installed off the existing mezzanine floor where there are also timber beams crossing. This obviously is not a compliant detail, and we'll have to remove these props and provide suitable structural support for the floor above and ensure that that is encased so that we can provide the fire protection required for the floor. This is a listed building, so it's not possible to remove these timber beams. They are extremely beautiful and it'd be great to expose them. We've made every effort to try to find a solution with intromescent coat paintings, so that we could have these beams visible inside the space, but unfortunately fire safety takes a precedent, and we need to make sure that there's a proper structure for the floor in the event of a fire. So that is why these beams unfortunately have to be encased in time and will no longer be visible, but the steel beams will provide the structural support for this floor system. We're in the main reception area, and you can see the layers of history here. We have very large steel beams with a plank floor, 9x3 planks, spread from beam to beam approximately 2 meters apart. So this is a very non-standard detail, extremely hard to find anything that we could do to upgrade this ceiling and take advantage of the height. So we've had to look at installing a Castelline system with a mineral rock wool layer, which is a fireproofing strategy entirely from below. Doesn't take consideration of the entire floor structure, so what is above the ceiling is not relevant to the system, and this system will provide the 60-minute protection required for this building. Old buildings throw up lots of interesting challenges when it comes to fire safety, so stay tuned, and I'll cover this project as it's been completed and built out to show you the various systems as they're being installed.